What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night of Chewin the BBQ Fat. Holy smokes, we are getting recovered. What a weekend. What an incredible time we had. Putting on a barbecue contest and a festival is no joke. But we had an absolute blast. What a great time we had. Can't wait to talk about it. But none of this could ever happen if we don't have amazing sponsors and supporters. And we did. The barbecue community came out and helped us and showed out. And this is what makes barbecue so great. You always hear me talk about barbecue family, and barbecue family is what we had come out and support us. Go ahead and like the page, share the page, get it out there. It's going to be a good conversation tonight. It's going to be great. We had an absolutely amazing time. It got cold, absolutely freezing for us here in Georgia. My two guests that I have come on, they're going to be laughing at me how cold I thought it was, and we all thought it was, but it was cold. So anyway, if you watch the show at all, if you were at the contest at all, you know that we had a ton of sponsors and we had a lot of people on to help us out. So two of those I've got coming on. What's up, man? What's up, Jason? And it was a great time. But I'm going to go ahead and bring on Jim Compart. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good, Brian.
Great. What an absolute incredible weekend we had this weekend. And like I said, we couldn't have done anything without the sponsors and the support of our barbecue family. And y'all showed out. Your company did amazing things for us, was able to sponsor our one meat category on Friday night. And then we got our pork category also. So thank you so much, Jim, for what you
we appreciate being involved with you, and I thought I'd throw a little extra something in there for you and send some Minnesota weather for the weekend so you could appreciate what we deal with.
You did, and it killed us with the with our vending, but that's okay. It was all good. We had a great time. We learned a lot, but it's just something that we couldn't do without y'all. And well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring on my other guest because y'all are such good friends. And how you doing, Anella?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Oh, well, I am still recovering.
It was 14 degrees when I left for work this morning.
That is awful. It was 25 degrees here. So, hold on a second, honey. Will you turn off that light? It's right in my head. There we go. What? God, that is terrible. 14 degrees. How cold is it up there in Minnesota, Jim?
Well, we had a pretty nice day today, so we were like 32. So yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it was like a heat wave. I mean, there was people laying out, on the side of the road, and enjoying it. Just shut the car off and put a lawn chair out, and yeah, it was beautiful. No snow plows are on the road, so it was good.
No plows, and honey, will you turn off this light? Thank you. There we go. Much better. Hopefully that helps y'all. Snow plows and 14 degrees, and here I am complaining about 40 degrees and a little bit of wind. But here in Georgia, that 40 degrees and wind kept everybody home. So it is what it is. It was turned out to be a beautiful day. And then, I wake up on Sunday morning and the weather broadcaster's like, oh, we're the average temperature in Georgia this week is 65 degrees. I was like, good gosh, we didn't have that, but it was still a great time. Anella, thank you so much for your generous donation and sponsorship for our classic. It is people like y'all that make the barbecue world go round and make it to where it can be a success. This barbecue world can be a success. So what is it that makes y'all to, Jim made the comment earlier, the combination between Snake River Farms and Compart Duroc is going to win a lot of contests. So what is it that makes y'all stand out and be so good in the industry? Anella, I'll let you start.
Well, I think it's just the care that goes into the product that we put out. We were having this conversation at work today. We were talking about like emails, and this time of year you just get bombarded with everything. And I mean, obviously, we've all seen prices at the grocery store. I'm pretty sure I paid like $40 for sweet potatoes yesterday. But you see it across everything. But when you look at, like I said, we were having this conversation at work today. I said, it's really the fact that we do things differently than what other people do. And I think Jim's family can attest to that as well. Like when you talk about their families are the ones out there, packing the boxes, and they know the hogs, and they're feeding hogs, and they're, and the same thing on our side, like, every person that goes into the life cycle of that animal. And so it just gives us that ability to create and produce a far superior product. And then the service behind that, I mean, I think is just something that you don't get elsewhere. You don't get the same levels of service that you get with smaller, companies like ours that, and I say smaller and everybody's like, oh, really smaller? But like, yeah, like we're not huge companies.
Right.
And it's really cool to be able to talk to people and see what they're doing and watch them win. If you ever get a chance to go to a contest in Minnesota or Wisconsin, I highly suggest it, because they fly those compart flags like it is no joke. They take their compart pork very seriously in Minnesota. And it's just really cool to see the fact that you see those flags flying, and then you see the farmers that are farming the product there at the events as well. And there's just not very many companies that can say that and
Right.
then have the product to back it up as well.
Correct. Right. Jim, what do you think?
Well, Anilla's right on. We're small. We came from starting out to try to build it from ground zero. And, we've both been involved with that side of it and to watch things grow. And you look at, the work and the time and the dedication that a person's put in along the way every year. And all of a sudden I look back, it's like, where did the last 20 years go, But it's been, busy. I mean, nobody has let up. We try to treat everybody as, like they're like our parents, and it's just treated us really well, having, good people, good customers. They're very loyal, and same thing with the barbecue people that we deal with that are, cooking our product. It really is family, and we really have gotten involved with a lot of different things. We were involved with sponsoring the state high school barbecue championship down at the World Food Championship last weekend, and it's really special to watch these young people get involved and start growing and learning, and to have the teachers that are out there, putting on classes or just helping people is a great deal. Joey Smith down in Texas, he's got a foundation that he started helping veterans and getting them involved with barbecue, and as a way that kind of bridges the gap and gets them more back involved with people with the rest of the population, and really giving them a cause to work for, and so that's a really great event. But the people that you meet from all over the country, I mean, cooking barbecue is just too hard to work for just the average person, and there are just a lot of really good people that get involved.
It's awesome. Yeah, and like I say, it made it special for me as we were doing our awards and everything, being able to say that y'all partnered with us. I mean, to me, that just it was, we were honored that y'all would be able to come in there and be a part of our first time event. And Lord willing, it's going to be an annual thing that goes on to be a big event, and we're able to give back to the community in a big way. because that's what the whole thing about for us is we're trying to give back. Everything we do. If you read our contest, you heard us say over and over again, the Lord's blessed us. Barbecue has blessed us with this, and we just want to be able to give back. And the barbecue community always steps up and just shows out in the way of giving out and giving back. So I appreciate what y'all are doing, and I'm hoping, I hope that we could partner together for a long time and do some wonderful things in this community and barbecue everywhere, because we love partnering with the best, and y'all have been incredible in the barbecue community. Very highly sought after. Y'all are just incredible people. So we just lost Anella's picture, but what else do you see go? Oh, there she is. What
Sorry.
do you think? No, you're good. What's next for y'all? I mean, because I know the barbecue season is kind of winding down. The holidays are coming up. What's next for y'all? Anella, what's next for y'all? Either you yourself or Snake River Farms?
Oh my goodness. It is holiday in full effect. It is, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, we had a big brisket sale a week or so ago. We are currently running Black Friday deals. Cyber weekend starts on Friday. There's so many different we do on our online business, we do a very serious portion of our sales in November and December. And so, I mean, obviously gifting and people stocking up, and we just do so much. So if anybody's looking for corporate gifting, we do all of that. I mean, we put together gifts and packages. I know that it's kind of a wild thing to think, oh, what am I going to send? I'm going to send beef, but it's kind of a cool opportunity. This is very much, I don't know if everyone saw, I don't know. Do you guys know who Henry Cavill is? He's Superman and The Witcher. And he dropped a video on TikTok and Instagram yesterday, and I had a few people reach out to me, and he was for International Men's Day or whatever. He was cooking an SRF brisket. And so it got viewed something like 14 million times or something like that. It was insane. And so, I mean, I was super pumped because I wanted to go teach Superman how to cook barbecue. But
awesome.
But we're definitely coming into the holidays. I mean, they're like no days off for the next 2 months for us. And then I'm going to pop into Minnesota at the end of the year for final ankle surgery, hopefully, crossing our fingers. Yeah. So if you're looking for a place to spend New Year's, I will be in Rochester, living the dream.
Sounds like it's going to be warm.
I'm getting my knees both replaced the 13th of December. So
perfect.
You probably could share rooms.
We'll just cruise out to the lake house. Somebody can take care of us for a couple weeks. This is a great plan. But yeah, just a lot of food, a lot of fun, so much family. We've got a gorgeous 7-bone tomahawk roast on the website right now that is absolutely just ridiculous when you look at it. But we actually had the because we cut them to order, and we literally had the conversation today, can we cut more? And so yeah, prices are crazy and things are different, and we're all seeing it and we're all feeling it. But I think people are really focusing on staying home and celebrating and traveling, and really, I mean, now we're 2 year past, post COVID, and I think people are feeling more comfortable in the family settings and traveling. I mean, if you've traveled anywhere lately, you've seen it's a shit show. Right. And so I just think that it's really cool to see for us. That's kind of where we're at, and so we don't slow down any during this time. I mean, we just ramp up this time of year, so it's fun.
So
keep busy.
I get texts a lot. I'm a member of your. I don't know if everybody gets the text. How can people get on that?
So you should sign up for texting. You should sign up if you're shopping with us. Definitely make sure that you're a part of our loyalty program, Club SRF. It's free to join. You accumulate points. You can use them for free product. You can use them for dollars off. The texting is kind of the same way, in the sense that anybody on our text list usually gets early access to offers. Anybody in Club SRF, like, you get, once you hit like legend status, which is not that hard to do, especially for brisket shoppers, you get free shipping all year long. You get early access to our deals. You get our friends and family pricing twice a year. And so those, like, if you're not signed up for Club SRF, I would say do it before Thursday. That's all I'm going to say.
Leave it at that, right? No spoiler alert, no anything.
No spoiler alerts, but do it before Thursday.
We don't know why, but you might want to get in on that.
Yeah. And so it's, like I said, we're coming out with a lot of really new offerings, like some fun stuff as far as like, we're actually working on a chuck roast. It's like, you wouldn't really think that. Some people are like, really, SRF? And we're like, yeah. I mean, people kind of want those home cooked, that stuff. And we've tried it. We have a petite strip loin roast now that's the end cut of the strip loin. And so it's got more of that, that intermuscular business going on in there. And so it doesn't work great for like slicing it into steaks, but it makes the most amazing roast you've ever tasted. We've got the big dino ribs cut in cross-cut ribs now. We just launched those. So we've got a lot of new items. Like you're going to see, cross carcass utilization on everything that we're doing now. And, if there's something that's not on there that you guys want, shoot me an email, shoot us a note, let us know what you guys are thinking too, because that's truly where we get a lot of our ideas. Like we wouldn't have the brisket options and the SKUs and the grades and all of that without the folks from the barbecue community going, hey, what about this? And it just continues to grow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jim, what about you? What does Compart have going on?
Well, we actually just got done with our Christmas party last night, and it was fun because we had all our growers and salespeople, people that work in the offices, people that work in the barns, and so we had 94 people there. It's a small company, but yeah, it was really fun because you see each one of those people that
So hold on a second. 94 people.
Yeah.
Right. Like that is, I mean, I know it's a big company, but that is in comparison to all the others, not very big, right? Like what y'all are putting out with 94 people is very impressive.
Well, we have a lot of families, so we expect a lot out of the family. But we're not a big huge company. So when you're talking to people that are putting the boxes together, that's my brother and my sister-in-law, and their son and daughter help. My mother's 85 years old, and she's folding brochures, and she loves just being there doing that. And so yeah, it's a family operation. So yeah, we're into that, like Anella said, the holiday season. And it gets absolutely crazy from about, the mid part of November, it starts. And, getting into this time of the year, well, then people are kind of wanting to get stuff ready for Christmas, but they don't get it ordered in time. And it takes time to bring product in and get the product ordered because, the volume that goes through is amazing. And,
ladies and gentlemen, Christmas is on the same day every year.
Right. Exactly.
Our products last in your refrigerator or in your freezer until you are ready to cook them.
Exactly.
There's no reason to wait till the day before Christmas to order.
So it's gets down to the end where you're looking at, there's no options unless you want to, they can drive here and pick it up if they have to. But I mean, it literally gets to that point where people are calling from, halfway across the country and wanting to get something, and they're really disappointed that they're not able to get it delivered, and they're calling us on like the 23rd of December and can't understand why Santa can't make it there, But anyway, no.
When we say order early, we promise. Really, order early, we mean it.
Yeah. Well, we try to fill as many orders as we can, and our ham business has been absolutely phenomenal. We have just a killer ham. All our hams are really, really good. Once you have one, it's like, they're definitely going to buy one again next year and somebody else. And, the bone-in hams is something that we don't really sell a lot of those the rest of the year, other than for holidays. We sell a lot of the boneless hams, and the bone-ins. It takes time to schedule them on the cut to keep them. Otherwise, we're selling them off elsewhere and getting them cured and shipped. It's so it takes a couple weeks to get everything in motion to get it here, and so it finally gets to a point where you're out and there's nothing you can do anymore. But anyway, so we got
most seasons we don't expect that we'll just like run out. And I don't know that there are certain SKUs that we'll definitely run out of this year like tenderloin roast, stuff like that. We're going to see pretty tight on some of those. I think speaking of the hams and stuff, people always say that it's pork the way it used to taste. I hear that a lot. And that speaks to that, to Duroc, to Berkshire, to Manglanista, any of those really, those heritage breed pork. It's like, if y'all are still buying your hams in the grocery store, don't.
Yeah.
You can. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Do your thing. Love your people. But there is something about a heritage breed ham that will change the way you eat hams forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, people aren't going to invite their family or people over and say, hey, I got this wonderful ham for 99 cents a pound. What do you think? And it's like, it's terrible, It's like, they're family, So feed them like you love them,
That's what we always say. We feed our families what we feed everyone else what we feed our families. And we take care of our animals that way. We take care of our people that way. It's been a long time since I've packed a box. But I've been on the other end of the phone a few times dealing with upset people. So I've earned my stripes. Oh, see, now I can't hear Brian again.
Yeah.
Brian, we can't hear you.
Brian's muted. We lost him.
That's it. Welcome to the Jim and Anella show.
Yeah,
we're your hosts. We're your hosts, Jim and Anella.
What's our Atlanta barbecue store special that we're gonna throw this week, Anella?
We're gonna if you buy.
How about if you buy one at half price, we'll give you the second.
This is a good deal. Black Friday all weekend
long. We get
long.
a lot of movement that way.
I will tell people, we can't hear Brian. We don't know what's happening with him. But Shop Small Saturday is Saturday. So remember those folks out there who are smaller companies who are busting their butts to make sure that, they've got some random friggin' rub on their shelves for you.
Right.
So, and shop with them. We're just going to run the show now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what's up? What's up? No, we seriously can't hear you, dude. But we love you nonetheless. Jim, are you having your knees done at the Mayo?
No, well, up by us in St. Peter, actually. So
nice.
Yeah, so won't be at the Mayo, but yeah, I'll be thinking about you.
Yeah, hopefully it's the last one.
Yeah.
Nope, we still don't have your voice, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'm gonna tell Brian, thank you for having me on. You guys know I love barbecue. Couldn't do anything that we do without you guys. So, what's my favorite rub on steak? Jason Hardy just asked. Well, I'm glad you asked. Snake River Farms signature steak rub. I actually got a call the other day that said your guys' rubs are so underrated, and they totally are underrated. They are amazing. There's a gift box on there if you guys want to do them for Christmas that have 4 of the different ones in there. But that's our Santa Maria rub and our steak rub are phenomenal. I actually just put them on a cowboy steak tonight that I'm getting ready to go have for dinner. So, Brian, thank you so much. You guys know if you need anything, we're always out here. You guys can find me at Anella@snakeriverfarms.com. should you need anything. And I wish everybody the happiest of holidays and Merry Christmas.
You bet. And good seeing you, Nella.
Good to see you. Good luck with everything.
Yes. And if you want to get a hold of us, it's compartduroc.com. So, and we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a happy Christmas and holiday season from everybody at the Compart. So, if you get a chance and you want to come up to Minnesota and enjoy where Santa Claus lives, you're welcome to come on up. So we'll let you go. Thank you, Brian.
I was muted. Can you hear me? I don't think we can hear you. No. Yep. Thanks, Jason. Hopefully, Brian will be able to get back on with working audio.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
I can't see you, but I can hear you. Now I can see you.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, we're back. No clue what happened, but we're back. Incredible.
Hey, everybody out there, it is a live show. This is not pre-recorded.
Exactly, right? This is this is the Dollar General of all barbecue shows. Just remember that. Brian, how you doing, my man? Did you make it home?
Pretty well, man. I'm doing pretty well. Have you recovered yet?
No, we are. I still feel like I've been run over by a freight train, but we had an absolute blast. That was our first time putting on a contest, first time doing everything, and it was an awesome time. And I'm so glad you were able to come down.
Yeah, no, I was excited that we got to come down. You know, this time of year, it's always tough with travel, with trying to finish stuff up at work and being almost depleted with vacation days and whatnot from barbecuing and vacations all summer. So just glad we were able to make it work out. It was a great event.
Thank you. So, as everybody knows, Brian comes down all the way from St. Louis and whoops up on everybody down here in Georgia, right? And all we've heard is Schaefer saying they don't do well in Georgia. Brad says they don't, and you just went down there and said, "Watch this," right?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy that like Chris and Brad, two of the best in the world, haven't had great luck down in Georgia, but obviously you've seen what Bill Hine and Triple H have done. Bill and Andrea have done down there. They've cleaned up, and we just went down there this weekend, happened to hit some good tables, and things worked out.
That's awesome. So, I'm assuming it's your first GC in Georgia. Is it the first time you've ever cooked in Georgia?
No, we cooked it in Sip and Swine earlier this year.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely our first GC, our first KCBS GC.
This was your first KCBS GC?
It was. So.
Oh, wow. That makes it even better. I heard that, but I didn't know for sure. So I was going to ask you that. So what was that like for you?
I mean, it was pretty special. I'm not going to lie. Like, we've cooked, I was looking at barbecue data earlier, I think like 60 some KCBS contests. So anybody smart would have quit like around like contest number 6, but since I'm not so smart, we've kept cooking. But no, it was pretty special. We've won a handful of St. Louis Barbecue Society contests, but to win that first KCBS GT was something we won't forget. It was pretty cool.
That is awesome. So just doing the awards, we had a lot of people come up and they were explaining things, right? I mean, we had quite a few people that they won their first category or they got their first call, your first grand. I mean, we had quite a few teams that it was their first contest. That's awesome. That's something to me that, obviously you're going to remember our contest forever, right? It was your first KCBS grand. So that's something that's going to be in the back of your mind for a long time. And I really do hope you had a good time. I hope we were able to put together a good contest.
No, absolutely. I mean, honestly, you can't pick a better spot for a contest, right? Like 100% flat, great comp sites, power right there, water right there. Everybody was close to turn-ins. Nobody had a long walk to turn-ins, and yeah, it was a little cold, but we came down from St. Louis, so having a 60-degree day in November would have been nice, but that's just
what it normally is. That's the average
Yeah.
temperature, 65.
But when you cook in the Midwest, you're used to cooking in bad weather, and that wasn't even close to being bad. It really wasn't even that windy. I mean, there was some gusts, but geez, I'll take 40 degrees in November over 105 in the summer.
That's all. Yeah, I know, right? So, would you tell other people to go cook the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic next year?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It seriously is. I'm not just lying because I'm on the show or anything like that, or that I won. It was a great contest and, very well organized. I think the refs did a great job, and the judges were awesome, at least on the 4 tables I hit.
There you go. Perfect. I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit more. What's your history in barbecue been, and where are you at? What is your goals? What's next for you?
Yeah. So I mean, I know a lot of the people. I see some of the comments and stuff like that. I've been cooking. I cook with my dad, Dave, or some people may know him as Beer Dave, but that's a whole nother story. But you can ask Chris Schaefer about that. But yeah, I've been cooking. We started cooking a lot of SLBS contests, or I think our first one was in 2013, and then around 2017 or so, we started to kind of get serious and got a trailer and started cooking more. And I'd say for the past 3-4 years, we've been cooking around 15 to 20 comps a year. Past few years, we started doing a lot more KCBS. For a while, we were first getting started. St. Louis Barbecue Society had a lot of contests, and they were close to home, so you could cook 12 to 15 comps a year and never be more than 2-3 hours from home, which is hard to beat. But as they've started to have less and less contests, we wanted to branch out a little bit, and it's really been a great time. Cooking more KCBS, getting to meet all kinds of amazing people around the country, and that's honestly probably why my dad and I still do it, is the people that we've met and stuff through barbecue.
Yeah, it's crazy that St. Louis Barbecue Association, or so whatever it is, has brought out some really good barbecue teams.
Yeah, there's a couple world champions that are previous SLBS Team of the Year. So,
I mean,
Triple H and Heavy Smoke, those guys have taken it on a whole nother level. So it's pretty cool to see.
I mean, and Schaefer would probably be the one that opened my eyes to it the most. And it's incredible. It's to see what is. I mean, it's like it's the breeding ground of great competition barbecue teams.
Yeah.
And what is it about that? Is it just there's a lot of y'all out there? Y'all just take it so serious. You compete with each other. You all know each other. I mean, what do you think it is about?
Well, I mean, I think St. Louis is a big barbecue city, and it's kind of slept on, right? A lot, being that close to Kansas City. But I mean, we're 3 hours from Kansas City. We're 4 hours from Memphis. So there's a lot of really good barbecue restaurants and stuff like that. And then the St. Louis Barbecue Society started, and there's a lot of good cooks that have come through there and cooked there, and that still cook a lot of St. Louis Barbecue Society events. But yeah, I think Chris Schaefer kind of put St. Louis Barbecue Society on the map, so to speak, nationally. And it's pretty cool to see what he's done and what he's the attention he's brought to the area. And now with his restaurant, it's in my opinion the best barbecue restaurant in St. Louis. But I think it's only going to grow from here.
Yeah. So what's next for you? What does 2023 look like?
Hopefully 2-3 months away from driving up and down the highway. But yeah, no, we'll kind of not put things away, but we will take a break from the comp scene for a while and maybe hit up. Definitely will be at Smoke on the Shores in March, possibly Sipping Swine. Just kind of depends on how things go with work travel and stuff like that around that time of year. But I don't see a ton changing next year. We'll probably stick around that 15 to 20 comp mark. And just kind of cook the ones that aren't too far from St. Louis and enjoy and get out there. We always try to cook a new state every year. So this year, yeah, actually I did lie. Next will be I'll be going down with Bill Hine and some other folks with Chris Schaefer to watch him cook the Houston Livestock Rodeo in February. So that's kind of a barbecue bucket list thing to tag along and get him a refill his water whenever he needs it, or wash his knife, or stay out of Eddie's way.
I tell you what, y'all, you know the right people and get to go to all these things. I would love to go to Houston. That'd be amazing. What a great experience that'll be for you. So do you see yourself chasing points?
No, definitely not. I mean, I've got as much of a normal job as you can have, kind of a 9 to 5. So, in order to chase points, you got to be able to commit to cooking 30 to 40 comps a year. And I don't have the time or the financial resources to do so. I don't think a lot of people that aren't close to barbecue realize the commitment that it takes to chase points and what those guys do. I mean, it's, every single week you're focused on barbecue and what that, it takes away from what they have to do with their families and stuff like that. And the guys that do that are just incredible.
I was talking to Bill and Andrea this weekend, and they're like, "Oh, this is what started our chase last year." It was like, they're like, "Oh, I don't know if we want to win or not to get on that boat to where." So they, I think they got fifth, something like that. I was like, well, that was just good enough of a contest to say you had a good showing, but not so much to say that you have to go chase points again next year, right?
Yeah, I think Drew Davis with Razor Racks sent me a text message or a Facebook comment, something like, "You better hope you don't win another one before April, otherwise next year is going to get real expensive."
Exactly. Exactly. But it's kind of fun to watch. It's pretty cool experience.
Yeah. Oh no, it definitely is. And like I said, I'm real close with Chris and Bill, and I've seen the drive and the commitment that those guys have had, and it's something to admire, really. If I could cook 40 comps a year, I might, be tempted to, but the other thing too is you see a lot of people that have chased points in the past. Like there's not too many of those that are still cooking a lot, and I really like doing this. So I'm pretty happy cooking 15 to 20 a year and seeing my friends and barbecue family when I can. And, if ever gets the opportunity, never say never, but I don't see that happening.
What you just said makes a lot of sense. I love it too, right? I love barbecue. I don't get to cook a lot, but it is so cool to see everybody. That was one thing about for me this weekend hosting it. I saw a lot of people, but I got to say hey every once in a while, but I didn't get to hang out with anybody really. And that's what you miss. That's what makes barbecue contests so fun. Is that Thursday night and Friday afternoon, getting to hang out and just enjoying everybody's presence and having a fun time and hanging out with the barbecue family. So I'm looking forward to going. I think my next one is going to be Sip and Swine. So it's going to be a good contest. Yeah,
we did that one last year. It's a lot of fun. There's a ton of people out that they come out to that one, and it was a pretty cool comp. So we'll see. Maybe we can make it back down there.
Great. I hope you can. It'd be good to see you again. So we got to hang out a little bit at the Royal. What is your bucket list barbecue event that you just want to do before it's all said and done?
I think definitely it's hard to not say the Jack. It's just so cool. We've never gotten to cook it, but this year my dad and I were lucky enough that Brad and Jocelyn Cox with Local Yokels invited us to come hang out with them and help out at the Jack, which was pretty awesome. And then to get to just be sitting there in awards and watch, my best friend in barbecue, Chris Schaefer, win the Jack. It was pretty special. And last year we were sitting right next to Bill and Andrea Hine when they won the American Royal. So it's crazy when I've never been, those two comps so nervous when I had no chance to win anything. Just to watch and just, sitting there praying that they call your friend's name last. It was pretty special. So if we're ever fortunate enough to cook the Jack, that's definitely a bucket list item.
That's awesome. What is this bean father that Schaefer keeps talking about?
So it's a very long story, but we were at the American Royal this year, and we had entered into the bean competition, one of the side dish things, but ended up not getting anything together for beans, so we weren't going to turn anything in. And then the folks at Reese's there had they were giving out like stuff, and one of the things they gave out was beans. And Saturday morning at the last minute, we decided to doctor those up and ended up winning beans at the American Royal.
Wow.
So now, thanks to Brad Leininger with getting basted, he is referred to me as the bean father. So
It's these little stories that that you hear about and you learn about.
Yeah. It was one of those, we're sitting there and it was like we were relieved once they got down to like fifth and beans. We're like, okay, we're not going to get a call. And then Chris goes, if you win beans, I'm tackling you. And we won. And I looked at him like, please don't.
Please don't. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So what did you do? Did you do anything different? Did you cook your same cook this weekend? What was your mindset going into this contest?
No, I mean, we had our normal cook, so to speak. I mean, I made sure we had good meat and everything. It's we've cooked, we've kind of danced around winning the comp for the last couple of years. We've had a bunch of top fives and a couple RGCs. We just kind of had our normal cook, to be honest with you. It wasn't, I was even, talking to my mom after turn-ins. I said, we had a good cook. I'm not going to walk into awards expecting much because you never do, but what, we were happy with what we turned in.
That's awesome. What did your dad think about it all?
He was pretty stoked. I mean, my dad's he doesn't necessarily hide his emotions a lot, so he was pretty happy, and I'm not sure I've ever seen him that happy except for maybe at the Royal last year.
I mean, it was very cool to see.
Yeah,
it was cool to see that emotion and everything come out. I mean, you could tell that was a dad that was very proud.
Yeah,
and it's so special, right? I'm sorry.
And he works really hard too. I mean, we really are a team. Like, he's not just there, right? He's as much a part of the team as I am, and plays an active role, and he kind of runs the drums and stuff like that, and helps with boxing and that kind of thing. So, he's got as much into it, invested in time and effort as I do. That's
awesome. So what are you going to do in the off season? Are you going to take any classes? Are you going to just rest? Are you going to practice? What do you think? What does your off season look like?
I'm not signed up for any classes right now. I've taken a bunch. I'll be at Chris Schaefer's class. He's got one in December and one in January. I'll be there cooking dinner and washing dishes and stuff like that. And I'll be shigging. I've taken his class before as a student and been there to help out. So I kind of use that opportunity when I go to help him as a refresher, and usually have a notebook I'll take and jot down stuff that I've missed before. And, I've even, bet at comps that Chris has cooked that I haven't been cooking, and hung out with him and watched him cook. But, you can take the same class 4 times and pick up, different things each time. So I'm pretty excited to do that. And then probably do some practicing. I don't know, probably January, February is when I'll get around to practicing, but, I don't really have anything planned so far, but I'm sure there'll be some.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to not getting up at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
No kidding, right? No kidding. So what's your favorite category to cook?
Probably ribs. I mean, for a while, ribs have kind of been our strong suit. This year, they've actually, I think, statistically been our lowest scoring meat, which is kind of crazy because I still think like we cook pretty good ribs, but I definitely like cooking ribs a lot. What's
your biggest struggle, do you feel?
Pork is probably my biggest struggle. I really do think pork's the hardest meat, just because it's such a tenderness game and a feel game, and there's so much that goes into boxing pork. Before this year, chicken had been a bit of a struggle for us, but we kind of found some consistency with chicken, and it's been one of our stronger meats this year. But pork's definitely always been a challenge for us.
Legs or thighs? Or
thighs. I did legs towards the end of last year, and we did pretty well with them. I told Paul and Lynn, we were talking about that with Rivers and Tears this weekend. I said, we switched to legs and we got our first 180, and then we also got our first DAL with legs. So take that for what it's worth.
I feel like that's the thing is a perfectly cooked leg is going to win all the time.
Yeah.
But a thigh has a bigger.
I think if my goal was to just win chicken, I'd probably cook legs, but I think a good thigh is going to keep you in it every time. It's not going to keep you from winning the comp.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like burn ends, right? Yeah. A burn end is going to,
Yeah.
You can put it over the top or it can knock you out too. Well, just don't practice those.
No, I was looking at Jason's comment. He tried some different ribs on Friday night this weekend, and they didn't work out too well for him.
Different ribs. What are these ham ribs you got, Jason? Sounds interesting.
He found some old Smithfield ETs, extra tenders that had been in his freezer for a while.
Oh wow, there you go.
Cooked them on Friday, and he had a lot of us try them, and I'm not gonna lie, they tasted like a deli ham. They were pretty salty.
Oh wow. That's kind of funny. It's so interesting how the barbecue world changes. There for a while, everybody was cooking the ETs and they were doing really well with them.
Oh yeah.
And now it's Compart and it's Prairie Fresh and it's this.
I think too, like I don't think there's anything wrong with ETs. These they just kind of sat in the maybe they were in the store fresh for a while and then they got froze and they're injected with a salt solution, so they kind of had that briny flavor to them. But I think too, like if you look back to like what we all turned in 2017, like you'd be lucky to be middle of the pack with that stuff. Now everybody's just gotten so much better.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's amazing to see the growth and as an organizer, I got to see a lot of different things, right? You're behind the scenes. You get to see what everybody's turning in and what kind of food it is. I was still surprised to see. I mean, there was a lot of legs, but I do believe overall the thighs were still the dominant turn in for chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I like legs a lot. I like cooking legs. Like I said, we switched to them, last year sometime middle of summer and had some pretty good success with them. Chicken had been a struggle, and we got a 180 at the Royal with them and did pretty well. And then we took a class last winter and decided to start doing some practicing this past winter and cooked legs and thighs side by side and had different neighbors and stuff try them. And most people honestly preferred the thighs. So we kind of ran with thighs and first comp out down in Sippin Swine, pulled off a first place chicken with thighs and never really looked back.
That's awesome. If you had to tell somebody a new team because I think we had about 5 new teams at our contest this year.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that's just now getting into barbecue? What would you tell them to do?
It's so cliche, but I would tell them to take a class. I think you just have to and join the barbecue league, honestly. Like, if you're a new team or even if you're thinking about getting into barbecue, spend $100 on the barbecue league. There's so much great information out there. There's a Facebook group with members that you can ask questions. I mean, where else can you post a question on the internet and Brad Leininger or Chris Schaefer or Bill Hine or Jordan Kirkpatrick are going to answer and give you the truth. So it's to me, that's a community that they're probably not charging enough for.
Right. I agree 100%. It was interesting. We had a new team come in, great guys. They came in Thursday and they were talking like, so you're going to give us our box of meat tomorrow, right?
Oh, no.
Like, no, we're going to give you boxes that you turn in the meat that you cook. And they're like, oh, wow. So we need to go to the store. I was like, yeah, you probably need to go to the store now and buy you some chicken and ribs and pork.
Yeah.
They're a backyard team. And it's just interesting how, there's there's so much unknown and it was really, and they got a call. They actually got a top 10 call in the backyard. So it was kind of cool to see some of these guys that are brand new, have no clue what's going on. And you hear the story of, I got this great sauce that's a vinegar-based sauce, and we love it. I'm like, I think
stay away from it. I remember it was after I first started, but it was I read something, I think it was on the Barbecue Brethren. Somebody was like, what advice do you give a new team? And somebody was like, inject everything with, the butcher's pork or the butcher's brisket, use smoking guns hot and sauce with Blues Hog Original, and focus on tenderness. And I honestly think for a new team, like, that's pretty darn good advice.
Spot on.
Like,
I mean, those are,
it's not the, stick with down the middle stuff. I think, even when I think about our cook this weekend, like, I don't even know that it was the best cook we had all year, but nothing was bad, right? So we didn't have a single category that took us away from anything. And everything was just kind of down the middle.
and that's barbecue. I mean, if you can do that in this competition barbecue world we're in, down the middle, good quality food is going to win out all the time.
And just focus on tenderness. I think that's the thing that sets the good team about. Yeah. Just like, I meant to say heavy smoke white label. That's what I would tell somebody to buy.
Well, that's what you said. I mean, I think people might have heard smoking that's hot or something like that. That's not what you said.
Yeah, I said
heavy smoke
white label from the Atlanta barbecue store. That's the other
exactly what I heard you say.
Yeah.
So just use that one rub, and you can put it on everything. What is your favorite rub other than heavy smoke white label? Because we all know that's your favorite.
Heavy smoke black label? No, but no, I do. I mean, I'm not just kidding. Like, I put heavy smoke white label on. I've been using it on ribs and pork for, ever since, even before Chris put it on the market. He gave me a bag of it to try, and I said this would probably be good on ribs. I don't even think he was using it on ribs then. That if I had to pick a non-heavy smoke rub, I think Blues Hog Sweet and Savory is hard to beat. I mean, I've got a few different rubs in my trailer, but it's pretty much either a heavy smoke or a Blues Hog product.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't go wrong with.
Yeah, if I'm cooking at home, I don't know, if Boar's Night Out double garlic butter. I love putting that stuff like on vegetables. Big Papa Smokers jalapeno salt. I mean, there's so many good ones, but at home I use more kind of AP salt, pepper, garlic type stuff than that. And I think, a lot of people don't even think about it. Like, if you put like White Lightning on some green beans or Brussels sprouts or something, like, it'll actually make vegetables taste good.
Right. Makes vegetables edible. All those green things, you might be able to eat them.
Like, you can put them in an air fryer or something. Like, barbecue rubs aren't just for meat on the grill.
I'll tell you what, those that is probably one of the rubs which you hit. I'm hitting the head. That double garlic is one that.
I love that stuff.
And that was one of the first ones that we found that wasn't really a barbecue rub that you could use on everything, and then it became a base layer for a lot of different things.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's great on. I probably use it on vegetables more than I use it on meat.
Right. That's awesome. What if you had to give it a tip for brisket? Since we had Compart on and Anella, what's a good brisket tip you could give somebody?
Cook the heck out of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's really it. Is just focus on tenderness and, buy the best quality brisket you can afford, and just focus on cooking it right. But just having a Wagyu brisket, if you can't cook a prime brisket perfectly, you're not going to cook a Wagyu brisket perfectly. And I do think, there's a lot of talk about, do you have to have a Wagyu? I do think if you're serious about trying to win and stay in the top 10 in brisket, you probably do need a Wagyu, but you also have to know how to cook a Wagyu.
Right. So you're just as well buying a prime and learning how to hit the tenderness on that prime as you are anything else, especially at home.
I've ruined quite a few, $200 SRF briskets, trying to figure out how to cook them and still do for that matter. I mean, even this weekend, I think we had a really good brisket, but it was one of those that had kind of a fat seam in it that we didn't realize when we trimmed it. And it was kind of falling apart there when we went to box it, but luckily it didn't hurt us too much.
That's awesome. So What was the determining factor of you coming down to Georgia to cook the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic this year?
Honestly, so we hadn't planned on cooking the invitational. We cooked a competition in Arkansas a few weeks ago, and that was going to be our last one of the year. But I felt like we had a good cook, and we ended up being fifth overall and kind of right there. And I kind of just wanted to get one more in, and the KCBS Invitational was full, and both my dad and I, tell you the truth, thought we kind of had unfinished business this year, and wanted to get one more cook in. So I had talked to you at the Royal about coming down for the ABS, and it's a little bit further than we normally like to travel, but Bill Hine kind of encouraged me to do it, and he's a real good friend of ours, and we decided to load up and head south.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, we love Bill. Great guy. He's an incredible dude. Very friends with him too, and I bet you're glad you decided to come down now, huh? You had the unfinished business and you finished strong, right?
Yeah. No, it was a pretty good weekend for us.
And it makes these couple months off, and it makes you feel good, and you come back on cloud nine and come back, go strong next year, right?
Definitely.
That's awesome.
There won't be a trailer for sale this winter.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, and I appreciate you listening to Jim and Anella talk. It was pretty cool to see the sponsors that we had. Rec Tech came through for us. Springer Mountain Farm also came in and did some awesome things for us, and we had a lot of stuff in our goodie bags that people helped us out with. So
yeah, and the SR or the Compart gift certificates for the pork call was pretty cool too. I can't wait to use that. So it's really cool to see those guys. I mean, I use both their products, so to see them kind of support barbecue when quite frankly they don't really have to, right? Like,
right.
They've got plenty of orders and everything, so it's cool to kind of see them give back to barbecue, and it's really great that you were able to get them to help out with the contest.
Yeah, I mean, it made me feel we were honored, right? Like, ask them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'd love to help you." So that, I mean, that's what makes people like that so good, and you want to help them and do everything you can. So, but pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad you won that. I'm glad you won their contest. I'm glad you were able to come down and have a great time. Jim is a great guy. Thank you so much, Jim, for all you do for us. But is there anything else I'll let you get? I know it's getting late here in Georgia. Was there anything you want to leave our guests with tonight?
No, just real quick. I don't really have a lot of sponsors, but if you don't mind, if I
please do.
Just give a quick plug to Heavy Smoke. I obviously mentioned them quite a few times, but Chris is an awesome guy. Has amazing products and has some classes this winter. I think both of his first two classes are sold out, but he might be adding a third one, so keep an eye out for that. And just give a quick shout out to Cordy Meat Processing in Highland, Illinois. They've done a really good job taking care of us this year, and they take care of a lot of barbecue folks in the Midwest. So
how do people get in touch with Schaefer stuff? I mean, I know we carry Heavy Smoke products, but what is the way?
I mean, HeavySmokeBarbecue.com. You can look him up on Facebook. I think on his website he's got links for his classes, his products, and if you're in the St. Louis area, you can order online for his restaurant to pick up. And he's real active on social media as well. So if you just message Chris Schaefer, Heavy Smoke, he'll get back to you if you have any questions or want to order any products. And then also check out, he's in pretty much all the major barbecue retailers like the Atlanta Barbecue Store and stuff like that. So you can find them there as well.
And then what about Cordy Processing?
Yeah, Cordy Meat Processing. They're on Facebook. They're out of Highland, Illinois. Jay LaBelle is kind of the competition guy there, so you can look him up or message me if you need his contact information. He'll work with quite a few barbecue teams, not just in this area, but I know a lot of guys like Paul Buob and stuff, around near the Northern Illinois area utilize Cordy a lot, so they do the best they can to take care of competition teams.
Awesome. And how can people get in touch with you, most importantly?
Brian Payton, or meet me in St. Louis on Facebook. Just send me a message or reach out, or if you haven't, a lot of people have my phone number, so don't be afraid to to call me, and if I don't answer, just call Chris Schaefer. He knows how to get a hold of me.
There you go. That is awesome. Well, Brian, so much. Congratulations. I'm glad such a great guy could win our inaugural contest. Hopefully it makes you want to come back year after year and defend that title.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you out there on the barbecue trail. And let me know if there's anything we can do for you, bud.
Will do. Thanks, Brian.
Thank y'all. Y'all, hope you have a wonderful week. It's Thanksgiving. Remember to give thanks. Spend time with family. Remember those in need during this time. It can be a new number. Who does right? It can be tough for a lot of people. So just remember to keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers this year. And go out there, have a great week. And we will see you next Monday on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Hope you have a good one, everybody.